Hey everybody, it's me, Calorix1 here, and this time we're gonna be making another YouTube video, and this one's a bit different because I've actually watched this YouTuber. His name is The Quartering. Now, for those of you who don't know him, he's a YouTube channel with almost over 400,000 subscribers. Currently, he's at 330,000 subscribers. So yeah, he's not a small channel. He's really big compared to what I've tried to go up against. Now with Kavos, that was a different situation, but this one is yeah. And I actually admit that I watched some of his content. I agreed with some of his videos, but with the most recent videos that he's been putting out, I really have been finding myself disagreeing with. Now with the most recent videos he's been putting out, mostly with that games are being generic now, or with his video game crash, with the video game market crashing right now, or that the video game crash is already here. I disagree because with God of War and Spider-Man mostly, because we've seen those two games see huge success in this industry, with God of War selling over 5 million in 5 weeks and Spider-Man selling over 3 million in 3 days. That's insane numbers, and that doesn't show that the video game market is crashing. On the contrary, that shows that the video game market is still as healthy as ever. Now the Quartering mostly uses companies like EA and Activision and Bethesda as examples that the video game market is crashing because they're not doing so popular. But he doesn't mention on why these companies are failing, and it's mostly due to the fact that they're not doing what their fans want. They're going against their own fans. Now, he did this with Telltale. This is where I first started seeing the problem with him in his videos. Now, with Telltale, he was claiming that the reason they shut down was because of SJW pandering. Now, I don't like politics in video games. I have said this before, but with the Telltale incident, it wasn't related to politics at all, and it was mostly related to the fact that their old engine not being good anymore, and that the fact that they weren't improving their games and that the games weren't selling. It was a multitude of factors that were contributing to Telltale's closure, and that's where The Quartering failed to mention in his video. Now he also released another video of saying that video games nowadays are all too much the same. Now this video comes into play because how he complains about how he talks about the video game market crashing, but yet he fails to mention Fortnite, which is the biggest battle royale game, and it's a copy of other games such as Minecraft's Hunger Games, or even PUBG. And Minecraft and games like Fortnite are clones, and these clones of other games are doing popular, and they're bringing in huge numbers. Now, this actually goes against what he says about the video game crash, because that video game is bringing in like billions of dollars from kids and just from cosmetic items. Fortnite is just a beast of its own. Now, this goes against what he says, because he says that the video game market is crashing because games aren't selling, like Battlefield 5 or Fallout 76. And that's also where he forgets to mention that those games aren't selling because again, they're doing what the Telltale company did. They're not doing much to improve their games. They're going against their own fans. And this all combines well to each other because, again, The Quartering is failing to mention these few facts. Now, I don't think there's a video game market crash like he says there is. I think he's mostly exaggerating his points because he's trying to get clicks, I believe. I think this is just him trying to get clicks and trying to make there seem like there's a problem where there's not, because to me there is no problem in the video game market, because from this community I've seen that video games are doing well. I mean, you just have to look at the success of GTA, which is one of the most successful media ever. It's made more than any books or movies, anything. It's a $1 billion game right now, and that's the most successful example there is in this industry. And that's not even mentioning how Spider-Man did, and the video game market isn't crashing. I think this is The Quartering not looking at his facts straight. Now, with the companies that he's mentioned, such as Activision, Bethesda, and EA, those are just 3 companies. He forgets to mention the companies that are doing successful, such as Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, and CD Projekt Red, the people who made the Witcher series. These companies are still successful. Now, with Activision and EA, it's a different story. With Bethesda, all this controversy didn't arise till recently. Fallout 4 did good. Their last game, I believe, did good, which is Doom. And you can see that there's still hype for the new Doom game, too. It's just with Fallout 76 that everything has gone to the shithole, and that they're not listening to their fans, and that they rushed out a horrible, broken, buggy mess. Now, in his video that he put out that games seem too much the same and look too similar, to that I say, not every game is buggy and broken. You just have to look at God of War. Did that game release buggy and broken? No. Spider-Man, did that release buggy and broken? No. And there are a bunch of other games that haven't released broken and buggy. Now, sure by these AAA developers, that's no excuse, but these companies are the ones that fans hate because of their scumming practices such as loot boxes or microtransactions or their DLCs. And while sure, they're not the worst companies ever, those are certainly factors that are contributing to their failures right now. And they're not pleasing fans at all. And that's what the quartering is also failing too, because he's forgetting to mention these facts. And all these things are huge factors in what plays a role in the video game industry. The fans, the video game qualities, if a video game is fun or not. All you have to do is look at Bethesda. They were once a respected developer not that long ago. It was only up until like this month where they started falling apart with Fallout 76 being online. Now, I'm not gonna get too much into the Bethesda thing, but with Activision EA, it's understandable why they're failing. But although you still have to look at it, Black Ops 4 is doing amazing for Activision, especially with its Battle Royale mode now, like being the most successful Battle Royale other than Fortnite. That's a pretty good accomplishment right there, especially with Call of Duty numbers back up and beating the competition too. Now, my main problem with the quartering in the video that the video game market crash is already here, he goes on a little rant, and that's what part is where I have the most problems with him, and it's mostly with the fact where he says that the video games market, the video games are pretty much the same, where if you played one of them, you played them all. And he's saying that for the AAA gaming industry. Now, he forgets to mention, like, the smaller games that are out there. And while it's true that not every game will be for you, move out of the AAA gaming market to see that there's still good games. Jesus Christ, man. You don't have to go on a little rant and say that there's a problem with the video games just because they're too similar. Because he mentions that Battlefield's too similar to Call of Duty's Black Ops 4 and etc. And he forgets to mention that there are games that are out there that aren't copying that formula. The best example of this would be the Game of the Year nominated game Celeste. That's a perfect example of not trying to copy AAA gaming market formula of success. Now, where my problem is, okay, this isn't exactly a problem for everybody. I don't see a problem with this. Now, games copy of each other. That's a fact. All you have to do is look at Fortnite copying PUBG. That's a battle royale game, and those games copied off of Minecraft Hunger Games. That was a battle royale game, and it was before those games ever came out. And that did successful too for Minecraft. But the thing is, not every developer is trying to copy off each other. It's true that these video game companies copy off each other for success, but does that mean that it's failing? No. Look at Fortnite again. It's a perfect example of a clone that's making billions of dollars. It is bringing in tons of new people into the video game market, into being a gamer. Fortnite has seen extreme success as a clone, and again, that goes against what the quartering said, what I mentioned about how the video game market isn't crashing, and certainly not. With the clones, there's still success in there. Well, not true. Video games aren't. Not every video game is going to be for everybody. But again, these companies are copying success. Look at Days Gone. That game is copying off of Last of Us. And want to know why? Because Last of Us was a hugely successful game. And it makes sense that these people want to make successful games. And to be successful, you have to follow a formula almost. Now, true that game companies can find that formula to be different out there. Look at the Witcher game. That was different from the competition. That was a hugely, really good IP. And it was different from other RPG games at the time. Now, I want to make a quick mention. Media Molecule. Look at their game's Dreams. That game is not trying to copy success. It's trying to create its own successful formula. And that's the best thing about this video game market, that not everybody has to follow a successful formula. They can create their own blueprints how to make a successful game. And Media Molecule is a perfect example of this that I'm using right now. Now, I'm nearing the end of the video, guys, and I want to just end this off that I don't hate the Corning. I don't disagree with him on a lot of stuff, but I do disagree with him on this, and I just think that he just hasn't done his research enough for this subject. And is that a bad thing? Yes, and I don't want to see him do this again, and I hope he sees the video and tries to admit that he was wrong on a few subjects. Now, I don't completely disagree with him on this subject. There is a little bit of a problem in this game industry right now. But with that, guys, I would like to end this off. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tune in for the next one, and peace. Hope you guys enjoyed. Oh yeah, don't forget to press that like button. Thank you very much, and bye.
The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust.